welcome everyone to Experience Nicola Valley Talk. This is our 68th podcast. We're celebrating 68 episodes. Can you believe that? Celebrating tourism, community, and locals brought to you by Tourism Nicola Valley, Experience Nicola Valley, and Experience Merritt. Nicola Valley Talk is a live broadcast aired every Wednesday, the last Wednesday of every month. Sorry about that. At 7 p.m. on Facebook, on our Experience Nicola Valley Facebook. My name is Tania Stewart, and I am your host of Nicola Valley Talk. I am so excited tonight because we're going to be talking about one of my most specialist events and two very special ladies. So tonight, we are joined tonight on our broadcast with Jacqueline Whitecross and Gert Leslie from the Nicola Valley Rodeo Association. They are here to talk rodeo. So, without delay, let us bring in and welcome Jacqueline Whitecross and Gert Leslie to the Nicola Valley Talk. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am so excited because, as we were talking earlier, I was saying rodeo is one of my favorite, and and it's in our blood, right? Anyone who's lived here. So I'm very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. And top of the right? Okay, so please share with us who you are and your role with the Nicola Valley Rodeo Association. And let us start with you first, Jacqueline.
Thank you. First of all, we'd like to say thank you for having us on your show. It's a great honor, and we love to be able to promote our rodeo because we're extremely proud of it and all the hard work that we all do with it. And every year it becomes more successful. My name is Jacqueline Whitecross. I'm on the board for the Nicola Valley Rodeo Association and have been for about, I don't know, it is now 4 or 5 years, and have enjoyed meeting everybody on the board. We have a great group of people, hard workers, and there always seems to be lots of challenges, but we seem to be up for it. So with that, I find it just a good place to be.
Very good. And that was very nice, Jacqueline, and welcome again. And how about you, Gert?
As you said, my name is Gert Leslie. I grew up in Merritt and then moved away for a number of years before moving back here after I retired. I've been on the rodeo board since 2018, and I hold the position of treasurer on the board. And I do a lot of the background administration work as well, with setting up events and things like that. And so it's really exciting to be here telling people about our rodeo this year, which I think is going to be bigger and better than ever.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I kind of hit you guys. I will bring you right back. A little bit technical delay here. I lost them for a second, but welcome back, you two. I lost you for a second. That's the thing about live shows, right? Sometimes you can go zipping off into the universe out in the internet land. Okay. Well, now that you introduced yourselves, that's really exciting to hear. And I mean, you guys been doing it for quite a while, haven't you? Both of you? Yeah. Okay. Pardon me?
I'm not a real cowgirl. I'm a wannabe cowgirl.
You're not a real cowgirl, but you're a wannabe?
I say it a lot.
Oh, do you? Okay. So could you share with us what is the Nicola Valley Pro Rodeo? And why is this different from a regular rodeo? And let us start with you again, Jacqueline.
First of all, Tanya, this is our 63rd annual, so it's been going on for a long time. There have been a lot of changes since it initially started, and all changes for the better. And it's a professional rodeo, and what that means, Tanya, is that its contestants are making their living. That's how they make their living, is to go around to various rodeos, and for crazy reasons, they decide to get on the back of a bull or a bucking horse or whatever. So it's that's what makes it interesting, and it's what you might call the NHL of rodeo. So it's something that people seem to get a real high by coming out and watching the rodeo, uh, hearing all the different things that these people do and where they do it. And it's also something that it's the highest caliber that we have here. We have a gentleman by the name of Ward Maxa, and he's got the top contestants as far as animals go, and the highest caliber. His company is like Maxa Pro Rodeo. He goes around to all the rodeos, and he's well known as having the best of the best. And that's
Wow.
important to us. We pay more for that, Tanya, but that gives our customers that come in to watch it, they get their money's worth. Let's just put it that way. Also, it's something that I think a few years ago, Gert and I were talking earlier. They come from all over, these cowboys, and I think we're pretty sure we had one from Australia a couple of years ago. So that
Wow.
just gives you an idea of where they all come from. And they do a loop basically. They'll go around for ours. They'll go to Calgary, maybe start down to Barrier and over to Armstrong and over to us and Princeton, whatever. And that makes it most interesting.
So when you're talking about this loop, are they starting somewhere else the previous week? And I do notice when I'm at the rodeo Saturdays, it seems like an influx of people leave. Are they leaving to another rodeo?
Yes, actually, our rodeo is always on Labor Day weekend, and there's other rodeos happening in BC the same weekend and before and after. Um, we have the Armstrong Rodeo, of course, it's a big one, several days. It happens in the evenings. So a lot of the contestants at the Armstrong Rodeo will compete there during the daytime, will compete there in the evening and merit on the daytime during Saturday and Sunday. And there's also a rodeo in Langley, I believe, at the same time. So some of them go down there as well. And they're always going from as fast as they can, usually from one rodeo to the other, because of course, the more rodeos they enter, the more chance they have of winning. And as Jacqueline said, these are professional cowboys, but if they don't win, they don't get paid. So they've got all the expense of traveling to rodeos, and some of them, go back and forth to the States and BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. They've got all these expenses to go to these rodeos and pay their entry fees, but they have to win to get any money back from that. So, as you can see from that, these are top people. They do a lot of winning. A lot of them end up at the finals rodeos in Canada or in the States. As Jacqueline mentioned, the bucking stock, the Maxa Pro Rodeo, our stock contractor, their stock is one of the top ones, and they regularly compete in these world events at the finals rodeos. So as well as that, we're only one of 8 professional rodeos left in Canada, or not,
Wow.
sorry, not in Canada, in BC. There's still a lot in Alberta and Saskatchewan, probably some in Manitoba, but BC only has 8 pro rodeos left. And so we are sanctioned by both the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association, as well as the American equivalent, which is the PRCA, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association in America. So everyone competing at our rodeo needs to be certified by one of those, or members of one of those associations as well. And we are actually on what they call the Maple Leaf Circuit. And unfortunately, I can't name you all the rodeos on that circuit, but yes, it is a circuit where some of them follow the whole circuit. Other ones, I believe, just come for certain rodeos in there. But there's most likely certain awards for following the circuit if they manage to compete or place in each one of those. And as well as the pro rodeos, I guess you could say the pro rodeo is like the NHL of rodeo. But
Yeah.
apart from that, we also have other rodeos at our grounds. We have youth rodeos. There's a local Little Britches rodeo group and a local high school rodeo group, and each of those put an event on at our grounds annually. So the Little Britches, of course, is the younger kids. High school ones, they can be in there from age 13 till they graduate from high school. Um, and it's also a BC um, association where those contestants travel all over BC to the Little Britches and high school rodeos. And many of the ones that compete in our rodeo, as including several local ones, have gone on to go to the finals rodeo in the States for high school.
Wow.
The events there are slightly different than they are in pro rodeo. But those kids are the future of pro rodeo, of course.
Definitely.
So, in addition to that, we have ranch rodeo that usually happens on the last Saturday in August, and that's coming up on August 26th. And that's also a slightly different event. The ranch rodeo consists of teams of cowboys, real cowboys from real
Whoa.
ranches that come and compete as teams and basically what is ranch events. And we also get teams from other ranches in BC coming to join in. So that's always a lot of fun and really interesting to watch. Admission to that is free, and we'll have the beer garden and the
Ooh.
concession will be open. So guaranteed fun there for people that want to come out.
And I just want to add to what Gert said, Tanya, is that if somebody has not seen the Little Britches, it is a hoot. It is hilarious, and these little kids are dead serious because Daddy told them they had to be, and it is just so fun to watch them. Even the high school, because they're at that age where they're really serious. And most of these kids have been riding horses since they were in diapers. And I think that's wonderful that their parents encourage them to continue on in the rodeo circuits.
That is, you know what, ladies? Okay, I really want to go to the ranch rodeo again. Where is that? What time? Where the real cowboys? I mean, the ranch cowboys are.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
They are so polite out there. It's
Pardon?
just really polite gentlemen, and you wouldn't think it when you see them. But it's all yes ma'am, no ma'am. They make you feel old, I might add, but that's okay because they're just great guys and their families. They bring all their families along and have a good time.
Okay.
And they're local. So that
Yeah.
makes it even more fun
Yes.
when you
So
know
they're
the people.
Okay, so or Jacqueline, you got cut off there for a bit. Could you repeat that again for our viewers to hear
Which
what you just said?
what did I just say? Okay. Oh, the fact that it was yeah that these cowboys are as Gert said, they're just local people that want to have some fun for a weekend, and they are gentlemen. And in the truest sense, you'd never think it by looking at them. You know, you think they're kind of rough and tough and whatnot, and I guess they're that, but also they're gentlemen. And everything is yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They make me feel a little bit old, but that's okay because they're just really good guys. And they typically bring their families along, their kids, their dogs, you name it. And it's just a great group of people. I can't speak highly enough about them.
That you know what, that is so amazing. And I do notice a lot of it's even growing up here. A lot of the high school students I went to that come from ranches and boys and that were always
Yeah.
opening doors, yes, ma'am. And even
Yeah.
we were teenagers, and they're calling me a ma'am,
Yeah,
like my
we
sweet
have
age.
a family here, April and oh goodness, I can't think of my husband's name. April Garcia, Wade. Sorry, Wade, I couldn't remember your name. April and Wade, and they have two sons. And those guys have game same. I'm sure they've been in since diapers, but they are just nice, nice young gentlemen. I can't speak highly enough about them. And to them parents, it's not just about being a cowboy or rodeoing, but it's also about being a good person and a polite gentleman. Always
Okay, so
impresses me.
yes. So that you kind of touched base on our third question here is that Merritt has hosted the Nicola Valley Rodeo for over 60 years, which you stated, making this a generational event for many people who have lived in the Nicola Valley and lived, born, bred here. What has made this such a great event to experience in the Nicola Valley on Labor Day weekend? And are there any new events or added activities this year? Let us start with you first, again, Jacqueline.
What's the name here? Just a minute. I hope you're not recording this just yet. Just a minute. We lost our train of thought.
Oh,
Okay.
that's okay. So the rodeo has been going on for over 60 years. Are there any new events this year?
So maybe if you don't mind, I can answer that question.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
First of all, you mentioned the going on so long and being a generational event,
Yeah.
and I remember the rodeo being one of my favorite things to go to when I was a teenager in Merritt, and now I'm taking my grandchildren to the rodeo. So it definitely is a generational event. Oh yeah. And the ranching history is deeply rooted in Merritt. Merritt, what's one of the reasons Merritt came into being, as well as mining, but the ranches have been here for over 100 years. And the roots of rodeo are also in ranching. And I think that's partly what makes it such a great event, makes rodeo such a wonderful event, is because you're actually experience history. You're experiencing Merritt history and ranching history live. So we do have a few new events this year that are added. The regular events of pro rodeo, or bareback, saddle bronc, barrel racing, tie down roping, team roping, and bull riding, I think are the basics. I might have missed a few, but I think that's it. But we've added ladies breakaway roping, which is fast becoming a main rodeo event as well. And we have that happening this year. We did introduce it last year, happening again this year. And there actually is a Merritt woman that came from Merritt that is really high up in team roping in the world standings, I believe. The Merritt Herald had an article about her some months ago. So we don't know for sure if she's going to be here in Merritt. That will depend on her schedule, I guess. But it sure would be great to see her here. And in addition to that, we've got some novice events. There will be a novice saddle bronc riding and novice bareback riding. And we very often get some local people entered into those events. And the boy steer riding is another event where we frequently get local people entered. In fact, many years ago in the 80s, one of my nieces was the first girl to enter the boy steer riding in Merritt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. So the Labor Day weekend has long been a festival weekend in Merritt. And this year we've got the dance as well, which has been happening for a few years. And the parade is back. We didn't have a parade last year. The parade is back, thanks to Jacqueline, who's the prime organizer on that. So I'll let Jacqueline tell you about the parade and more about the dance.
It's something that to us, when COVID hit, that affected everybody and everything, including rodeos, Tania. And last year there was nobody to take on the parade. And it upset me a lot, a great deal, as did with our board members, but it just is a bit of a daunting project. But this year I said, be damned, we have to have the rodeo parade and it has to happen. So I just decided to bite the bullet and organize it. And I have other people helping me for sure. I have our mayor, Mike Getz, he's totally on board. And that's a great help to us, as well as Nicola Valley Tourism. They're doing a lot of promoting for us, and we're getting the word out there almost as much as we can and as far as we can, because everybody loves a parade. And this year, Tanya, it's on Friday night as opposed to Saturday. I thought we'd give it a try, and it's Friday night, September the 1st at 6:30, and it's
Wow.
going to be the main route. That gives people a time. When all the people I asked about before I decided on Friday night was people were thrilled. They said, well, that gives us time to go home and clean up and get the kids or whatever and bring them back for the parade. And they don't have to rush on Saturday morning to get down to the grounds like they did before with some of the contestants and whatnot. But with the parade, Tanya, we're having a real cross section of people. So a lot of cowboys. We have my goal this year was to have cowboy families, I guess, for lack of a better word. And as Gert said, this area is rooted in the history is rooted in cowboys and farming and ranching and whatnot. And I've gotten fortunately enough to be able to meet several families that are in that category. So I have people that are organizing different families that are coming out. When I say families, Tanya, Erica and Kurt, their children, I think their little one is like 2 years old, and they've had theirs coming out on the with their horses, again since they're in diapers. So,
Oh,
and they have other friends that are going to be joining us as well. I actually have Kurt and Erica Martindale. They're going to be our parade marshals, along with our president, Peter. Um, Stop, Peter. God, it went right on my obviously Stewart. Sorry, start that over. We're actually also having Peter Spencer, our president, as a marshal. He works very, very hard as well, and he's totally on board for improving and supporting our causes. So that's really important. But we're also hoping to have the cowboys, the rancher people, the seniors, which are senior ranching people. We've actually given recognition to those people for the last few years. And I think that's really due to do that because, as Gert said, they've been around for a long, long time. My husband, Graham, his family, his former wife was a Rose, and they're known in the valley. They owned the Quilchena Ranch for a lot of years. So those are an example of people that are around and about, and they're wonderful people that work hard all their lives. So
yes.
we're having those. We're having First Nations people. I'm hoping to get some of their dancers out as well, and just a real cross section. We also have our car club that's with the what do you call them? Like basically vintage cars, and we're going to be having them out. And
Okay.
anything else, the floats, we're hoping to have about 30 to 40 floats, and just get people out to have a good time. And I think by doing it on Friday night, that's going to make a difference as well. People, as I said, they love to come out and enjoy the parade. So it's going to be a good thing. The other thing that we have, as Gert mentioned earlier, is the Ty Posabon Memorial Dance. And Ty was a young man that was a champion in rodeo. And for which one? Steer?
Bull riding.
Bull riding. And he was a lovely young man. And unfortunately, he had some accidents. His head was damaged and whatnot. And it was not a good ending. So this is a memorial to him, and the dance is a lot of fun. I think it starts at 7 and goes till about 12, and
Uh-huh.
it brings out all the cowboys for the young girls that are looking for a cowboy. And it's Saturday night, so they can go out. I was last year promoting it over in Kelowna, and soon as I mentioned these cowboys, these young girls that worked at the Western shops, boy, they were going to be there. And I'm sure they were up. So that was also fun. The other entertainment that we have is Naomi. She's a Roman rider, which is a person that rides with two horses, standing up, no less.
Wow.
I don't know. I have trouble standing up on one horse, but she does too. And she's very gracious. She makes it look easy, but she's from Quebec, no less. So she's coming a
Wow.
long way. She also does the circuit, and it's interesting to watch her. She was very popular last year. And we also have Jason Charters. He's been around for a long time. He's out of Lower Nicola, and he's going to be our audience liaison.
Oh,
So we thought that would be fun. Have them keep them going, keep it exciting. And like when you used to go to football games and the clown used to come in, or the mascot used to come out and keep everybody revved up. That's what his job's going to be, and I'm sure he'll do a good job. We also have the Pee Wee barrel racing, which is hysterical. Again, it's the little ones, and they're always fun to watch. And then we also have the boot scramble for the children. And I don't know, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It is a scream. You get all these little kids out there, they throw their boots or their shoes or runners or whatever out in the middle, and then they have to find them. And half of them don't ever find them. They are all in a pile. And some go running to mommy, where's my shoe? Anyway, it's a real scream, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So it's something that we also have as far as entertainment is we have the fall fair, which is just up the way from us. And I think the first year I was here, I went and I actually think I helped out with them. And that was really interesting. They have a real variable level of everything, you name it, gardening and crocheting and quilting and artwork and amazing what people can grow and what they can do. A lady that actually did cowboy hats, and she created some beautiful cowboy hats that I never would have thought to put all those buttons and bows on them, so to speak. So that's also a good thing to attend and see everything that they have. They also have the animals, where they have, like, people bring in their special chickens and roosters and lambs and everything, goats and you name it. And when I moved up here, I was from the Lower Mainland, and I didn't know one end from the other end of a goat, but I found out pretty quickly by seeing what they had out there, and it was a lot of fun.
oh. Well, that sounds really exciting. I'm looking forward to the parade. I'm looking forward to it all because I mean, I take it in and I try to take it in every day as much as I can. So quickly, due to time here, how has the annual Nicola Valley Pro Rodeo benefited the community of Merritt and bringing travelers to our valley? And so, you want to take the reins, Jacqueline?
Sure, we can both do that.
Yeah, for sure.
First off, a lot of people, it's sort of a go through. So they come from Vancouver, or they go through to Calgary, or go through to Kamloops or Kelowna, whatever, and they come by and they look at this little city and think, oh God, nothing there. I'll just move on. And they have no idea how active this community is and how many wonderful people there are here. And by doing that, like the rodeo is a very good example. It brings people into the valley, and we promote it as much as we can. And it's also something that it benefits. It just benefits us in a lot of ways. It brings our local people together. It brings our volunteers together, and it's something that it's a weekend of fun. And it's definitely worth. I always say to people, make sure you come out. I was just talking to a friend of mine from Vancouver the other day, and I said, Linda, you push up here and see, because they never thought I'd be a wannabe cowgirl, and here I am. Yeah.
Can I jump in here? Just want to let you know that we do get regular inquiries from people from
Gert, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
We do get we get regular inquiries from people from other countries that are going to be traveling to Canada and want to come to the rodeo. So those people come to the rodeo and learn about Merritt and tell their friends when they go back home how great it is. And in addition to that, we have well over 200 contestants from all over the world and Canada that come. Plus the people traveling with them, they bring family and friends and support staff. And in fact, 1 year we had one quite famous contestant that he'd arrived overnight, and he told us he'd arrived, and in the morning he stepped out of his camper and he was really struck by the beauty of the setting and the valley.
Oh.
So we do have a great rodeo grounds here.
You know what? And it is beautiful. And the setting, especially when the sun is setting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous. Something you can capture it with a picture, but you need to see it in person, right?
Right.
I agree.
Oh, and Gert, do you have something to show us?
Well, people might want to see our new poster that's just come out. It's going to be visible in Merritt and other areas very soon.
Oh, very nice.
So come to the rodeo and have fun.
Very nice. Well, thank you, ladies. And is there anything quickly you would like to add before I let you guys go? And when I do let you go, you can stick around and we can debrief after I'm done. My little
Yeah.
That I forgot in my notes. Well, one was that we also have a kids zone at the rodeo. In other words, a lot of people bring their children, and their attention span is not long. So the parents have these people that can basically sit their children. And last year we had a woman that did a wonderful job. The kids didn't want to leave. I just happened to be down there when it was over, and oh, mommy, I don't want to go. Can I keep finishing this? And that was just a great thing. And we're doing that again this year. I actually met a face painter at a memorial a couple of weeks ago, and we're hoping that she's going to be coming on board. And she did magnificent faces, painting the faces. And the second thing is that Barbie Garcia is a local musician, and he's the guy that we're having at the dance. And I'm hoping to have him in the parade as well. And he's become quite popular, not just in our area, but around and about. And he's actually got a couple of CDs out now as well. So those are two things I'm sorry I forgot to mention. They're important.
That's okay.
And can I add quickly that I don't know if everybody is aware, but we've been working hard the last couple of years to do some improvements at the rodeo grounds. Yeah. So if you haven't been there for a while, come and have a look. It's looking great. We've got new lights, a lot of power. We're working to make it a community facility to hold all kinds of events. So it's probably the only facility of its kind around Merritt where you can have an event and you can camp on the spot. So that's something to keep in mind for anyone looking for a location.
Okay, yes, that's perfect, ladies. Okay, pardon me?
So bar, which is always popular, and it's a good time. There's great people, great food, and we just welcome everybody to come and have fun. And if you would come and introduce yourself to us. We're pretty friendly. You may not have noticed, but we are. Yeah. Thank you, Tania.
Well, thank you, Jacqueline, and thank you, Gert. And stick around, and I'll talk to you after I'm through here. Okay, thank you. I look forward to it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh wow, what I'm telling you, this is going to be so good. I'm kind of hiding here. Sorry about that. It's going to be a great weekend. So everyone, that was great. We ran over a little bit of time, but look at the information. How do you squeeze that into such a little moment? So exactly. Again, thank you, Gert and Jacqueline. and for joining us on Nicola Valley Talk, Nicola Valley Pro Rodeo Association. And yes, Jacqueline Whitecross and Gert Leslie. So watch for this and all upcoming community events on our new live travel talk community and events calendar on experiencemerit.com. It is real locals posting real adventures in real time. And you can join too. Just sign up. It's very easy. Just follow the instructions, put up your event. If you want to showcase the event, what's going on throughout the Nicola Valley, and you want people to come, put it up on our site, experiencemerit.com. Okay? So sign up today. Remember, every last Wednesday of the night, join us. Same time, same time, same place at 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on Nicola Valley Talk. Thank you for watching tonight, and see you at the rodeo. And until next time, I am your host, Tania Stewart, and I bid you a good night. Thank you very much for watching.